you sort of lead me in, if I took that last point you made correctly, you sort of lead me into my next question. And there are numerous opportunities for, at least in my little brain, as I see going forward, for how this would continue to develop, right?
Yeah.
And even through some of our conversations, I think I know the answer to some of this, but when I look at this, if I'm you, I'm looking at this and I'm going, I could help push companies in the direction that I think my enterprise partners and customers need. I could help develop technologies that they're already asking for, but I need to accelerate.
Right.
I could invest in companies that become offerings from Accenture.
Right.
And in some cases, I might do all three of those things.
Right.
Am I missing anything? How do you see that? You know, what
so,
do you see as kind of like 5 years from now, right?
Yeah, I think, I think Paul's only advice he gave to me when I came in was think different. And I said, well, that's kind of intuitive for me. That's, I started when Steve and I started together, basically, Steve Jobs, so his think different narrative of the 1997 commercial, the crazy ones, I guess I'm one of the crazy ones. When I looked at the investment thesis kind of concept, I decided I didn't like it. I didn't like what most people did, which was basically chase technologies. So let's go after blockchain, or let's go after AI or quantum. It became a marketing fad for investors in some ways. I don't think that's intention or was the deliverable, but I just was looking for something a little bit different than chasing the technology. And so again, I went back to my roots as an entrepreneur, and what's the question? What questions am I asking? And then that also tied very directly to that Henry Ford moment inside of Accenture, that Accenture's really core strength is their domain expertise. Yep. So I began to work and collaborate with all the leaders inside of Accenture. What are the top 10 business questions for the Global 2000 in 2021? What will they be? And so things like the skills gap, we need, skills. We don't have the skills. There's a shift in the labor markets that have gone from what they used to be 2 to 3% on an annual basis, now are 8 to 9%. That's jobs going away, new jobs created. A lot of them because of automation and other things.
Right.
And if in post-COVID environment, it's actually more like 30% in some areas. So how do we handle skills gaps, or how do we handle, as a multinational company, data privacy issues, GDPR, Schrems 2 that just came out about 2 months ago, or even in California, CCPA. And so when we began to frame the investment thesis, not on the how do you deliver it, but what are the questions we're trying to do, we began to see ecosystems. We began to, and inside the ecosystems, there were white spaces that were inhibiting progress, of change, of innovation. Right. And so we focused our investment thesis to big questions and white spaces inside those environments, inside those ecosystems. And that is the basis and the foundations of our investment thesis. Right. So we also obviously try to say, okay, is this the next billion-dollar practice inside of Accenture? Sure. And so is there opportunity for Accenture to, either through co-innovation or through services or whatever it may be, how can we help this? And when you look at the domain expertise, that's one element of Accenture's strength. The other is integration. They're well known for their ERP kind of integrations with SAP. So we're in probably the greatest, integration problem of my 42 years with microservices architectures, where everything we do are connecting pieces and piece parts into solutions. And so having strength in integration, having strength in the domain are all part of the Project Spotlight program.